Friends, welcome to our channel. In this video, we are going to make a preparation for another problem. So the current problem we are going to do is problem 974. And the problem we are going to explain actually is problem 3729. So this problem here is a prototype problem. Yeah. So if you can do this problem, then you can challenge yourself with this problem, problem 3729. So we can regard that the problem 3729 is an extension of the current problem. So without further ado, so we are going to explain this problem. So the method we are going to use is the so-called dictionary and check with the help of prefix sum, right? So the problem statement is rather short. So given an integer array called nums and an integer key, we want to return the number of non-empty substrings that has a sum divisible by key, right? So if you see the example, so this example 2 is an extreme case or edge case, right? So in example 1, so there are 7 subarrays listed, right? So here are the constraints. The length can be as long as 3 times 10 to the power of 4. Therefore, we need to think of term complexity when we do the problem. And the numbers can be negative, can be 0, can be positive. But the key is strictly positive. Actually, the lower bound is greater than is 2, right? Means that we exclude the possibility of 0 or 1, right? So with that said, let's look at the problem. So our idea will be the following. So we are going to check prefix sum, right? So if in up to one index, you have a prefix sum appears a number of times, let's say k times. And then at the index j, so you see a prefix sum again. And then actually this will contribute k subarrays divisible by key, right? So what we are going to store in the dictionary will be the prefix sum modulo on this key, right? So with that said, let's look at the coding. First, I'm going to initialize a result variable. So this result variable is what we are going to return finally, right? And then also I'm going to use a dictionary. So the dictionary will tell a prefix sum and how many times it appears. So here we can have a prefix 0, right? So this is start. We are going to consider the subarrays starting from index 0. So the 0 appears once, right? And then we have a current. So prefix sum are going to be 0. And then we are going to iterate through this nums list. So basically for y in nums, then the current will be the following. Current incremented by this y, and then we save it in the sense of modulo key. So here, because key is actually greater than or equal to 2, so there's no problem, right? So now let's first increment the result. So the result will be incremented by, so we get how many this current appears, right? So if this current appears, then the difference is those appearances corresponding to some previous indices. From each of the previous indices to the current index, it corresponds to a subarray, which has sum in a multiple of key, right? So we want to get current. So here I'm using get, right? So if not, so we're going to get a 0. Then we are going to see, because for now, this current appears very small. So what we are going to do is we set this current to be d get current is 0, incremented by 1, in other words, right? Because we are not sure if current is already a key in the dictionary. So we use this get method. So once you've done this, so you can do the return for the result. Let me do a quick check. Yeah, it passes the 2 test cases. So now let's look at the generic case. Yeah, it passes all the cases. So this is a quick solution to this problem. But if you want, so here I'm using vanilla dictionary. But if you want, you can use counters, right? So basically, let's use this as version v1. So what you can do is this. So here are collections counter, let's see. So 0 appears once, let's add a 0. then you have a current, then you have this one. Then the result is the B current. So because we have this one, if current is not a key already in this collection, so the default will be 0. So here you can automatically use increment by 1, right? This is also good. Let's do a check. So you can submit that. That's basically about it for this problem. So here, the purpose of this problem or this video is to, as a prerequisite or preparation for problem 3729. So with that said, let's move to this problem, problem 3729. So thank you for watching for this video.